fully fledged designs. Obviously, it's been 24 hours, but I kind of put all the pieces in place and I have the space modeled. So we can start to form some opinions. I think if you have any feedback on what I'm about to show you, that'll be super helpful to progress it further. So this is this is your roofscape. And this is we're going to kind of go forward and backward. So this is kind of the lay of the land. This is not one of the designs, but this is just kind of showing how the space can really be subdivided into these two zones, sort of an entertainment zone and then this sort of zone of respite. I'll start with the zone of respite. So we talked about it being sort of a green space. I think that the introduction of AstroTurf or some type of very comfortable and natural or a natural appearing surface could soften this space. So this is sort of the entertainment hardscape and this is sort of the respite softscape. I think you could do a simple chain link fence with the greenery that you've already used on other projects to kind of screen off the mechanical area. But I think the main design element is using these two planters and potentially cladding them in the Trex to create this kind of gateway between the major entertainment zone and then again the softscape, and proposing sort of this 6-inch step up. So we talked about framing this deck sort of as this terrace where the level change is kind of the level change implies the different zone rather than like a wall or a gate. And I've just kind of shown a different color of the Trex here, but that's not important. Again, this is just to get some reaction. So on the entertainment side, we talked about the bistro table being in the corner and a U-shaped sectional right when you walk in. I think that with the entertainment TV wall sort of flanking the door on this side of that elevation, you're probably going to want to push the sectional into the corner, and I think that's nice because it gives it sort of a built-in integrated quality. Taking it further, you could even clad the base of it in the Trex and make it feel fully integrated. You have 13 feet deep, which is pretty. That's a pretty large distance for viewing a television. Usually, you want to be about 10 feet. So I think the idea of a planter. These planter boxes are all 12 inches deep and 4 feet wide. But the idea that there could be a hedge or a planter to soften this backside of the sectional. And then here, just proposing to use these steel posts to attach to the existing parapet and then use the Trex to go up and then maybe some slats just to create more height, but to maintain visibility. So I'm taking a little long to present this, so I'll try to move through these options sort of quick. The TV, I'm going to show you some options for a TV wall, but the simplest solution is to actually box the TV, and then the front of the TV, the door could basically hinge open and become the shading device. So this is your budget option. I mean, this is probably like $200, and I think it's going to accomplish a lot of what we talked about. I'm just proposing a coat of paint, just a charcoal color or something to make this block the existing facade kind of go into the background. And so that's what views appear. These are views of this condition. Again, this is sort of the softscape, what it might feel like to be in that space, surrounded by these fake, what's called horsetail, sort of a Japanese screen wall that it's kind of like bamboo. This is sort of a plan view, very spacious, but everything has its place. So as we move along, if we think about that gray, what would it be like if it were white shiplap? What would it be if it were wood? What does it mean to add a steel or a metal frame awning with angle iron? What would it mean to do sort of a wood truss projection where you might actually see the filigree below? And again, just how that might appear. This is getting a little rustic though and a little woodsy. I think you're going for more like a California modern, not hipster, but like a fresh millennial vibe. So here's where we're gonna have a conversation. If you're gonna do all this work to like reclad this elevation and potentially add, this projecting roof element, and you want to integrate some depth for a TV niche and to have all the electrical in this wall, I think you have an opportunity to kind of look at this super wall more holistically as kind of a singular architectural motif, where this new wall, which is what I'm proposing, that you would actually build out from the existing wall, could contain all of the electrical. It could create the depth for the niche. You could clad it in metal or wood. It could be board and batten, but you could integrate a cove light. You could have can lights. It could just be this kind of power wall that has all the complexities, all the extras of the space could be contained in this wall. And I think it might present itself on Front Street as something like to be admired. It might be something that people recognize, and you could probably describe it that way, that it's an architectural, a special rooftop that's not just, a TV, but it's really a crafted space by local architects. Of course, this is the budget, the not budget-friendly option. So if we take this idea of a power wall and we sort of just streamline it, it could just be a block with a really nice material, like an Ipe. You could still have the idea that you close off the TV with the door, or sorry, the door front. And then, so you can kind of get a sense of how that is very simple, very elegant, but again, it's going to create that depth to give you all of the volume you need for the niches and the electrical. In this option, the sconces are flanking the back volume, so it's kind of defining the entertainment zone rather than being associated with the TV. And I guess this was just changing the material from wood to stone to see if a brighter color is a more impactful solution. But I think in general, the layout is really strong. This sectional obviously is modular and the pieces could move around. I think that the bistro table is a really good transition point between sort of these two seating areas. If you think about the bistro table being to the right, you've got seating and lounging, and then you'd have seating and lounging again, and then the table would be kind of pushed against the wall. So I think that this idea of a slow space of sitting and relaxing, and then another slow space of sitting and relaxing, and then having sort of the activity and the traffic going on where the door is, right in the middle. So this is where you would have card games or drinking games or what have you. But I think we've really limited, I think with very few moves and very few elements, you have a really a beautiful and complex space that is going to photograph extremely well. Let me go back just to that first iteration, that's sort of the ultra. So this is the most lean iteration where you just have the TV on the wall with the fireplace, two sconces, and you're just painting the wall. And I think you get away with I think you get everything you desire from this condition. You're not shading the TV, but all that means is that people aren't watching TV at 3 p.m. So I think this is really a good baseline to start to throw darts at, or whatever, throw spaghetti on the wall and see what sticks and what we keep and what we trade out. But organizationally, I think that this is very clean, and I think you can take it as far as you want or keep it as lean as you want. And I think it's also very feasible. I mean, I think if you do the deck work